So this guy gets sued by his business rival. So then he hires a hitman to take the guy out, and that is where it all goes wrong. Now the guy's name is Tan, and Tan is a big-time real estate developer in China. He's a serious businessman. But one day in 2013, he gets into a disagreement with another real estate developer. This guy, Mr. Wei. And so they're arguing about this property they're both working on. I don't know the exact details of the argument, but it gets heated. And these guys can't seem to agree on this. So things escalate, and they have to get some lawyers involved. And suddenly, boom, Mr. Wei hits Tan with a lawsuit. And before Tan even has time to fight that lawsuit, pow, Mr. Wei hits him with another lawsuit. Now, obviously one lawsuit is bad for business, but two lawsuits? That just feels personal. But more importantly, Tan is worried that these lawsuits are going to have a negative effect on the financial side of this development. And this is where it gets crazy, because at this point, Tan could chill and let his lawyers handle all this, but that's not what he's gonna do. He is too pissed off. Instead, he comes up with a much different plan. He's gonna hire a hitman to take Mr. Wei out and get rid of him for good. And so Tan asks around about finding a hitman. I assume he asks around. I'm not sure how else people find a hitman. But however he does it, he eventually finds one. This guy, who we'll just call Hitman 1. And so Tan reaches out to Hitman 1 and he offers him 2 million Chinese yuan to assassinate Mr. Wei, or about 282,000 US dollars. And Hitman 1 is like, alright. But here's the thing though. I guess Hitman 1 doesn't really want to do this job. He just wants to make some money. But he's got to make his client happy. And that is when he gets what he believes is a brilliant idea. He'll just hire a different guy to do it. And so he himself starts looking for a hitman to finish this job. And he looks and he eventually finds one. This guy, who we'll call Hitman 2. And so Hitman 1 hires Hitman 2 to assassinate Mr. Wei. But instead of paying him $282,000, he only offers him about 140,000 US dollars. And he pockets the rest for himself. And so this assassin just subcontracted the job to another assassin. But whatever, Hitman 2 agrees to do it. He takes the job. Okay, but here's where it gets really weird. I guess Hitman 2 also really doesn't want to do the job. And so he gets what he believes is a brilliant original idea. He'll just hire a different guy to do it. And so he reaches out to another assassin for hire, a guy we'll call Hitman 3. And so Hitman 2 hires Hitman 3 to do the job. But instead of paying him the $140,000 he was paid, he only offers him $71,000 and he pockets the rest for himself. And of course, Tan, the original guy who wants Mr. Wei dead, he has no idea this murder for hire job is being subcontracted out. He still thinks Hitman 1 is gonna do it. Regardless, Hitman 3 has now taken over the job. But he doesn't really want to do the job either. So he gets what he believes is a brilliant original idea. He'll just hire a different guy to do it. So he contacts a fourth assassin for hire. This guy, who we'll call Hitman 4. And so Hitman 3 hires Hitman 4 to do the job. But this time he doesn't take much money for himself. He actually pays him nearly all of what he was paid, about $70,000. And while this subcontracting of hitmen keeps going, I'm sure Tan is chilling somewhere thinking, what the fuck is going on? Why is Mr. Wei still alive? Because at this point, this assassination plot has been going on for like 6 months. So bro has gotta be getting impatient. But whatever, Hitman 4 has taken the job and he's gonna, nope. He decides he doesn't, he really doesn't want to do it either. And so he gets what he believes is a brilliant original idea. He'll just hire a different guy to do it. And so he reaches out to a fifth hitman, a guy who we'll call Hitman 5. And so Hitman 4 hires Hitman 5. But instead of paying him the nearly $70,000 he was paid to do the job, he only offers him $14,000. And he pockets the rest for himself. And Hitman 5 accepts. Regardless, this is the final Hitman. Like, he's not gonna subcontract this gig to anyone else. He's actually gonna get the job done and take out Mr. Wei once and for all. Until he decides he doesn't really want to do it either. And so he gets what he believes is a brilliant original idea. And to be fair, this idea is different from the idea all the other hitmen had. See, to me, the price of $14,000 to take someone out seems pretty low and definitely not worth the risk of getting caught. But it's still $14,000, and Hitman 5 still really wants this money. And so Hitman 5 reaches out directly to Mr. Wei. And I don't know what story he gives him, but Mr. Wei agrees to meet up with him at a local cafe. And so they meet up, and Hitman 5 explains the whole predicament to him. And he's like, hey, I'm not going to assassinate you, but what if we pretended that I did? And Mr. Wei's like, what the f*** is going on? And so Hitman 5 explains to him that he'll tie him up, all bound and gagged, to make it look like he was kidnapped. And from there, he'll have to pretend to be unalived. And Hitman 5 will then take pictures of him, and then he'll give those pictures to the guy who hired him, pretending that the job is done. Then he'll get paid the $14,000 he wants. After he gets paid, he'll then go report the whole thing to the police, and basically just snitch on everyone. And Mr. Wei hears this bizarre plan, and he's like, how the? Now, I'm not sure why Mr. Wei can't just go directly to the police himself, but he doesn't. Whatever. And so anyway, boom, they put this new plan into motion. And they tie up Mr. Wei, and he pretends to be dead, while Hitman 5 takes a photo. Hitman 5 then gives that photo to Hitman 4, the guy who hired him. And he's like, the job is done! And Hitman 4 pays him. Hitman 4 then gives that photo to Hitman 3, and he's like, the job is done! And Hitman 3 pays him. Hitman 3 then gives that photo to Hitman 2, and he's like, the job is done! And Hitman 2 pays him. Hitman 2 then gives that photo to Hitman 1, and he's like, the job is done! And Hitman 1 pays him. Hitman 1 then takes that photo back to Tan, and he's like, the job is done. And I'm sure Tan is like, woohoo! But here's the thing. Hitman 5 doesn't actually go and report all this to the police and snitch on everyone like he promised he would. I'm assuming that's because it would then implicate him and he doesn't want to get in trouble. I guess you can't really trust a hitman these days. But Mr. Wei, I guess he finally realizes that he can just go to the police himself, which he could have done all along. And so he goes to the local police and he tells them all about this attempted murder plot against him. And so police start investigating. And pretty quickly, they follow the trail of each hitman and they work their way backwards until they get to the original mastermind of this murder plot, Tan. And so, bam, police go and they arrest Tan. Also, bam, they arrest all 5 hitmen. And I don't have a mugshot. They don't really release mugshots in China, but I do have a photo of all 5 of them in custody. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And eventually, they all get convicted, and Tan gets 5 years in prison, while the others receive prison sentences between 2 to 4 years.